I'm just gonna send it to myself on the laptop, and then we can continue as well. It's fine.
Yes, actually today we
just
will be more talking about the success stories. So for me, it's
yes,
important.
yeah. This is, I think, because I remember when I did my interview for this job, my friend took me through the STAR model. So it's been like a year and something, so I can barely remember it. But when I saw the details, I was like, okay, this is nice. And then I tried to find the one I wrote for the interview, and I could not find it because I know it's somewhere in the laptop. But that would be for the previous roles. So I tried to I had to go through all my details of this year's performance review. What did I put? Because it's very hard to remember these type of things, and you never know which situation is actually really a situation that you can make a success story. So it took me a while, but then I chose just one, and I was like, you know what? It's a trial. That's the idea, is that we're trying it and seeing how good it can be and how well it can be managed to become something that's
And you know why?
good
And you know why it's happening?
and relevant.
Our minds
Mm-hmm.
tend to remember bad stories or drawbacks. It's just piling up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some failures, some not comfortable situations. Like it's just like this is the how we are wired. Our
Mm.
not our mind. It's just remembering not good stuff, and that's creating stereotypes, etc., etc. Like so, just like but and it tend to forget something good.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Makes
Okay.
a lot of sense.
I'm adding you. So okay.
Yes, and I will disconnect from here as I'm connected here. Okay, let's connect audio. Okay, can you hear me here?
Yes, but
Oh, I
don't
can.
like we need to.
I think it's
Okay.
okay. Now this is done, and the laptop is back on.
Okay. Good.
Did I open the camera? Yes, I did.
So in general, how are you now?
So yeah, you're right. Like I really struggled. I was like trying to remember, like even when I was doing my interview.
A little bit on sound, a little bit like disturbing, like the sound.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, can you please maybe unplug and plug again because
Can you hear? You can hear me?
yeah, because it's like actually a little bit breaking.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, now it's better.
Okay, I think it's the internet actually. 1 second, I'm gonna switch to the internet because I can see that it's
Yeah, now
okay.
it's
Where
better.
did my okay? I'm just gonna reconnect.
Okay.
This should be better than the first one, I hope.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So
So
tell me, how are you?
it's been a very hectic 3 weeks with work. And just as I was getting my groove back a little bit with my boss, so he's the type that whenever something happens that's negative, he starts to like lash out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason I'm doing these courses and these sessions, and I need to make more time for them. So he gave me a very good boost for for continuing what I'm doing here in the career progress, because I was like, okay, because remember I told you I have a situation where I need to actually just wait a little bit before I move. Now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to move even though if the situation is not happening,
Mm-hmm.
because it's ridiculous the way like he's one day he's good, and then the next day he's back to being aggressive. Not yeah, he's not aggressive in a sense that where he's like he panics and then he lashes out with like unnecessary like ways of he doesn't know how to give a criticism without punching down. You know what I mean? So And then 2 days later, he started laughing with me in the call, and I'm like, "Are you insane?
So
You're
it's
driving me crazy."
and this person is your boss or what?
Yes, that's my boss.
Okay, you know what? Because do you remember I sent you the the link to the to do the test on communication style.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So please do this report because you will start understanding. It takes only 15 minutes. It's very fast.
Okay. I didn't do it, did I?
And
No. It's in the link. It's in the tracker.
yeah,
Link.
it's in December. I will forward this email again to you because it's no. I cannot forward this email to you because I organized this through the tool and it's like profiling for admin sent you the link.
Okay. Let me find it. 1 second.
You like what is actually which email to search. It's not for me.
Um,
So actually, why I'm telling about this because it's about communication style, and
mm,
we have 4 different types. It's like dominant, like it's like red, like the colors, right? Red, yellow,
mhm,
green, and blue. The red is dominant style, the bossy, right? Like the yellow, the people oriented. The green
mhm,
is exactly don't remember, but the blue is about compliance, the rules, etc. And we are somehow the mix of these types. Do you hear me? Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, and we are the mix, and then you start understanding which type you are, maybe because we have a conflict with his style. And actually, what is the secret? I call it a secret weapon. When you
Mhm,
report about yourself, it's actually describing all 4 types of people and the language they are using, the typical
mm,
words they are using, so that you can start detecting the people around you to which style it and how to like work with you. It's better what like can improve or this is giving like very good recommendations. And so it's actually you can select. There is also some sort of plot like where you are and selecting like studying other people like which type and how to communicate with all 4 types of people
mm.
on which
Okay.
information is very good for conflict resolution. It's actually, if I had that report when I was working in Honeywell, I would
Mm,
be dealing a little bit differently. But I got to know that only maybe more than 1 year later after I left Honeywell.
mm.
I already helped. This report has actually already helped to resolve few conflicts.
Nice.
And not only work related but also family related because you start understanding other people how they talk
Okay.
and how they deal. A friend of mine, she's from Kazakhstan but her husband is British, and you go, this is like this is just like this boss is cannot fire that person, and like she was arguing, listen, I asked, do you know your style? That no, do you know the style of your boss? It was woman, but she's yellow. But how do you know? They did the test, but for us, it's like don't do the test. They go, okay, it's not expensive. Let's do the test, and you will get the answer within 1 hour. And she got the answer. And in the evening, she's messaging me, that, oh God, you know what? Matt is reading my report and he's telling that it's so true that I'm bossing in the house. And she is like red type. Of course,
Oh my God.
like the like high expectations from everyone around her, and they are not
Mm.
meeting her expectation, and she's angry, and then she's working for them, etc. And she's claiming that
Yeah.
working too much, and it's just like, and her boss was yellow, and it's a conflict. The yellow are people oriented, the red is like result oriented. So it's actually,
Completely
but do you
different.
understand? You need to be in somewhere the management position. Now she's on the management position. I think she's enjoying it.
Now she knows her strength.
And then I get, listen, it's actually reduce the expectations. You start understanding them and get, listen, it's actually make your life a little bit easier.
Interesting. I
And she
really
goes,
like that.
thank you very much. Now I understand myself, you know. That's why I'm just telling you, this is like one of the bonuses which you're getting. You don't need to
Nice.
like it's already like It's already like in your part. And then actually you can describe and take some you know, pronouns, like just like how they describe you, and okay, I agree with that, and you can add this to the self-presentation. I am that, and when actually like you will be telling to your team how to better to work with you, so that you need autonomy, not to be disturbed, but that this is exactly limited number of hours when like we can discuss, etc., so that you will help other people to understand you, to make your life better.
That makes a lot of sense.
This is one of these items. So that, okay, what I wanted to start, how I wanted to start, like I wanted to go with you through resume very quickly.
Okay, yes, let's do that, because
yeah,
that's a lot of work to make.
No, you worked on that, you're right. So then let me share the screen. We are progressing, and straight away, let me just a second. You're there, right? I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going from the back. I'm going from the bottom.
Bottom. Okay.
Final. This one is final. So it's actually the Microsoft Office or something you already can add to the position, to the skills, because I see certain position. They see Microsoft Office. It's actually, I know by default, but I did not show. And some positions are okay. You don't have Microsoft Office. You know, this is a skill.
Interesting.
That's why I'm just telling you. This is like this your technical skills. Like just double check. You know, like the
LinkedIn.
Amal, you can add to the skills on LinkedIn straight away.
Okay.
Then here I reshuffled a little bit from the oldest to the current. And one that I want to ask, this is a specialty, business administration, but do you get the degree as a bachelor or master?
Bachelor's. Okay, I didn't write that, did I?
Okay.
That's the way.
So that's why I'm just like clarifying that, because it's like bachelor, like that that is, oh, sorry, I have Russian. For free languages. Bachelor, so that we somehow will mention that. So I'm closing that actually you can already update that on LinkedIn, adding this into the courses or certifications, but at least you already have something like already beyond 2015.
Okay, that was my question actually for those courses, because I don't remember if we actually got like any completion certification or anything. Can I use them or not?
Listen, no need. No
need. Okay.
You already in the work, you are negotiating with people.
Yes.
You are applying that skill. I would like a little bit like later, like because I saw you're smart, like your deadlines, but do not resign. You don't tender your resignation until you get the job we want, because
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, you know why? Because it's like when you leave in the job and go into the market and with the hope to find a job, your market value is dropping by 30%. So that's why I'm just that you are better, like for example, a little bit when we will finalize with the resume, you will have more free time. You will sign up for LinkedIn Premium for 1 month for free.
Yes.
And you will do some fresh courses in the field, like with this ethics and like, you know, human rights, etc., to add skills to your profile. A very good variety of courses. I'm using now premium. I was using this for 2 months for free. Someone gave, and actually I might check if I can give you some access for free, right? Like so. Yes. And what is people doing during 1 month when it's free? I also was doing that, right? If you're completing certain courses, and when you're completing the course, it's like LinkedIn suggesting, can we add that? And he's writing the post on your behalf, and you're just like pushing like, okay, showing that. And it's giving like certificate, it's adding to the skills, etc. It's really good. So that's why I'm just like one of the free benefits to get few courses which you need,
Mm-hmm.
and then adding them like maybe every 2 weeks, something like having that certificates and adding, so that will be like fresher, and it will be 2024 already. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
update the resume once I'm done with.
what I did, I slightly, this is not Arial.
Yeah.
No, just a second. This is not Arial. I just already like see which font is this, you know, like. So
That's amazing. I can't tell them apart, although I've used Word all my life.
I slightly rewritten that with the AI, with the artificial intelligence, so that it like looks structured.
Okay. That
Then
explains why I was like, I didn't add anything there. So,
just a second, like then that I have a question. Then I see November 14,
mhm.
like, and then you are starting
Oh no, it's not
in
November
March.
14th,
So
13th.
these 3 months, what you were doing?
Uh, it's November 2013, by the way.
So actually,
I only stayed 1 year.
if it was career break and you started
Mm-hmm.
in like just career break, because it's better that we don't have big intervals.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was career break and social, or not social needs, like family needs, like when
Mm-hmm.
you put on LinkedIn career break, or here you can put career break, like or what you were doing, that the option on LinkedIn, they're choosing what type of career break,
Okay.
because these 3 months are visible, so that we are not ignoring them, but we just
Okay.
because otherwise recruiters, what are you doing 3 months, like what was in between, or maybe you were traveling and having rest, that's also okay, but it's better to explain in order to have data like more transparency, so that is actually then.
Then I have 2 gaps, not one.
ah, then,
I
then
had between.
add this.
Okay. So
Then
should I add them in the order or?
yes, you can, if you had 2 jobs, like on the you're using like you can copy these blocks, right? You
Mm-hmm.
writing them, for example, the period like exceeding, and that you're still working. That's fine. That's fine. And just explain the duties. That's okay,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And last, or the current job, what actually I added here that the branch of British and multinational FMCG company, and
Okay.
like we can add also websites, and here that you put like line by line what I suggest, some sort of structured approach.
Okay. Because so these are 3 different jobs, and the each one has a different. So what I did is I put three. Those each three are related to one specific one, so they're not for all. So I wasn't sure how to like organize that.
It's good that you described, and especially this, like, the volume, etc. This is really good. So what I'm telling you, because it's like content of job, it's just like it was a job enrichment and enlargement, and like you have more, and this is
Mm-hmm.
actually very good that you have like promotionals, like free positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is really good. That what I can tell you, that when the people have see structured, because the content almost the same, okay, supply
Mm-hmm.
relationship management, financial
Okay.
oversight and forecasting, and financial support and operational management.
Okay.
How I did it, I went, because I have like advanced level of AI, I'm
Oh,
using prompts, etc. What I told, like, I copied your into like how you would state this for resume on the structured way, etc. Like I gave and using the active verbs, etc. And AI helped me. At the end, I will show you how I'm using. It's like a lot of AI tools, but I'm using ChatGPT. So that is
okay.
actually helping. Like, and before, for many people, I was adding, because they're putting like the list. The list is
Yes.
boring to read. But when the
Yeah.
when
Correct.
people spend like only 10-15 seconds of reading of resume, they will not be going to details. They see the most important,
Mm.
the most important.
Keywords.
Exactly, because it's actually explained. You can even move this business support and operational to this, like depending what you were doing more, where you want to focus.
Mm.
And for example, also on the next position, like more with the human rights, like business support, etc., that you will be what you have in terms of orientation, like you will move this one maybe to the first place. And supplier relationship, you move somewhere in the middle. So that you can play and depending on the requirements. Because not sure how much you're working with finance in terms of percentage.
Mm.
So that
I mean, we do it quarterly, so it's a lot.
so that's
But
up to you. You're using this or using this, but I would suggest at least this one
no.
you can
No.
put already to LinkedIn under your current,
Mm.
like that. Probably it's because it will be like 3 positions there, and
Mm.
okay if you have one description, it's okay.
Really? Okay.
That it is gradually you're doing the same, it's just a little bit more, but you will be highlighting skills there. What LinkedIn likes frequent changes and small changes. And for example, already this weekend, you can update this, right? You can update duties, right? And experience. You can update skills,
Okay.
technical and language one.
Yes.
Else I have done? I have done here a little bit. I shifted
Yeah.
languages
I.
here because language is considered not soft but hard skill. On the left it's
Okay.
skills, on the right is a soft skills.
Ah, okay.
And because here it's not yet updated because you don't
Yeah,
have
we haven't touched
ground.
it.
And the
Yeah.
people management is also on the question. And
Yeah. And what's EQ? Emotional. What's EQ?
this one, the strong communication skills and strong negotiation skills, I consider it's available. You have it. It's because you're negotiating already with the client. You're already negotiating and it's visible. But what we did in terms of the skills, it will be ongoing for now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Don't stress yourself out because it's ongoing. Then you will analyze the other procurement people which I showed to you. Then you will be adding, and the most important, then when you analyze the positions, that okay, I'm picking that skill. What I will give to you, I will give you the World Economic Forum report for 2020, 2023, which is showing which skills in the top. And it's also given by country analysis.
Nice.
And when you open it by country analysis and just understand, okay, adaptivity, do I have it? Yes, I have it. Like resilience, do I have it? Like this, like, and when we will get a report from this artificial, you mean, which you completed, I have not yet received. It will take some time. So that also will see some competences. So this is ongoing. This one is ongoing. Don't
Okay.
think about that. That like that is something. This is like ongoing, and we will complete. Like we will complete that. And you need to analyze this procurement and logistic people which I gave to you in the tracker.
Okay.
That's the most important.
Okay.
Do you have questions on resume up to now?
Just that I want to like okay, I don't want to jump the gun, but you said the career highlights is basically the star part that we're gonna do, right? And you said I need to have between 7 to 10 for interviews ready, and 2 to 3 in the.
Yeah. So it's actually just second. Let's go into my Notion. So this is the our in terms of resume, right? And today we will be I will be asking questions, but today we will be doing some sort of short, like simple compilation. Okay. This is like actually what we are doing now and what we already did. Recommendations and progress. Okay, personal details you completed, technical knowledge you completed, training qualifications you completed, experience you completed, name, contact number, it's completed. Skills are ongoing, right? And for example, here, what I thought like exactly the career highlight success stories, that for resume it's free, but for interview we need 7 or 10. But the most important, you need to know the structure, how it's written. The most popular one is STAR. And HR people really like that formula. When you explain them to the STAR, so it's 2 to 4 sentences, and some sort of metrics can be used. So for interview, better 7 to 10. What we focus, one for interview, I will give you one more formula, but now we will focus on STAR, because that I'm stop sharing now. I just will be more doing a little bit more discussion. So it's actually STAR, a situation, task, action, result. So for example, then in 2021, it was situation, but it was no some process in place, like it was something broken, and it was the task, or it was like it's the target. It was to repair this process, or you joined the company, that process was already not working, or just broke on the process, so that you had a task to repair. I'm just giving some sort of idea. I don't know. And you estimated that probably to repair this process, it will take 6 months or some sort of analysis, etc. But you applied your analytical skills, negotiation, you created some database. I'm just giving hypothetically, I'm just not, I don't know, but what I'm giving you some sort of how I would be describing. And as a result, you completed the database or this process repair, not within 6 months, but within 4.5 months. And now the process is working, and that it's actually saving a lot of time for you. And that is actually what I'm doing. Like, I gave you some sort of idea. What was the problem at the start, the situation? What was the task? What the actions you did, like collected, like negotiated, they agreed with the team, how like it was some sort of project, and then we get results. Even if you were part of some project doing, we're also describing from the point of view what you have done. And in terms of numbers, it's better to mention, like, for example, which year, duration of the project, because you might not be working on an increase of volume of sales. It's not yours, but your targets in terms of the procurement, that probably savings to get certain percentage of savings through negotiation, like through getting discounts, etc., so that you could save for working with one particular or the bunch of suppliers. For the year, you can save, let's say, this number of dirhams, or let's say, if because it might be commercially secret how much is productivity you save, that you can tell like that the savings were 10%. The second, like, why I left the stories of the previous guy. They were very simple. Just a second. What is this? Why I cannot open again?
Strange.
Yes, okay, now should be opening. Hello. Yes. Okay. And when you will learn how to describe, it will be much easier on interviews. For example, I left the stories of this guy who is 50 plus, and he was actually During pandemic, he lost his job, but now he's working.
Oh, nice.
A very simple one, what you can dig from him, it was very difficult to get something. For example,
50 years is a lot.
even with these stories, he got the jobs. So that he already one meeting, he was like, okay, which year? And then like, okay, what he did? I successfully negotiated contracts with some supplier or manufacturer of the wide range of chemical products in Russian English, like for required significant volume of product. For 200 tons, we negotiated the price was lower, 15% lower than the price list.
Yes.
That is actually something like 2 sentences is enough, like because they had no, but he could get 15% discount, right? Like the lower. Or in 2018, I participated in negotiations and custom storage, like Poland logistics, etc. So exactly, again, reduction for the storage. And he was so proud and explained about that he went there, they look at his facilities, and they could like negotiate that. And then another one, it was like 5 million euro per annum. Some supply, the project was completed within budget. Overall cumulative savings were 7%. That was written in a very simple language, but it was completing that STAR. Amal, the most important from you, I would like to hear some not similar stories, but your story. And I will be asking questions. And I will be writing down. I will be compiling that, like just first ones, together with you. And then you might not believe, but actually, I was teaching people last year how to use ChatGPT to prepare the better story, like because people cannot write the stories. I have IT project manager, like just like she's really good. I cannot write more. I cannot write more. And I just like going and creating the prompt and taking the data. Can you please write the success story according to the STAR formula where S situation, T task, A action, then R result. In using this data, believe me or not, ChatGPT wrote that in perfect English.
Nice. That's the problem. It makes people look bad because now the standard is too high.
It's like, but you need to create the proper prompt explaining what is actually needed. And it's okay, can you shorten that to the 2-4 sentences? Perfect. And he wrote like the long one enough because there is a difference for resume. We don't have a lot of space, like 2-4 sentences.
Yeah.
But
Not
for
full sentences. Yeah.
but for LinkedIn, that's like okay, the title, and then we have 2,000 symbols there. So this is actually, it's good. It's byproduct of these success stories is that you will be taking something from the past. You start analyze, okay, I did it, like this achievement is coming back to you. You're getting energy from that situation. We're just taking facts, and we are putting the facts in the resume and we are writing this, like your confidence and self-esteem is getting better. I will tell you even more. I had a client in Italy. She's from Belarus. And I told her, okay, for resume, we are writing down only the career one related, but I'm just for her because it was more life project, right? Okay, put you some personal also, like, and go to the childhood when the first time you had you spoke the poem or you start like riding a bike, etc. It's all achievements. Moving to other country, it's also achievement. Completing some studies, it's also achievement. And she came more advanced. She wrote her first achievement is her day of birth. I was
I love that.
Yes, exactly. I didn't expect, but this was 2020. We had constant contact, and we had did the exercise X+10. For current moment, what she does, what the projects, and she wrote down for 2023, like something about a baby, right? And like just like it's like maybe every half a year she's like, I'm on track, I'm there, like she's reporting to me like I'm there, go okay. So
Nice.
believe me, like on 31st of January, I'm getting SMS on Instagram that I gave a birth to the son, Alessandro.
Oh, wow.
And I look at her X+10, she's on track. It's only 1 month, which is excellent. That's actually
Amazing.
to go to Costco, like they, because I already bought the cut and I
That's
just like present. So, but this client, because she was working that and she had a dream to be on a fashion podium to present something, but she has
oh,
some
wow.
features, believe, and she's not Italian. She's from Belarus. Her husband
Yes.
is Italian. Her sister also lives in Italy. And she was in Milan Fashion Week on podium. And
Wow.
that she's periodically have these photos, etc. But now was pregnant, no, but good. Listen, good, I satisfied that need. Like I'm okay. It's not what I will be doing always, but when she told it, I'm there. Like, wow, this is
Amazing.
exactly this. When we start documenting, when she start documenting her ideas about the, uh, she she was not actually wired for the office work because
Mm.
she cannot wake up early in the morning. So her productive time starts somewhere at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
She's actually teaching languages, but at the same time she had some also projects. She studied and she's like so active. And then she came with listen, you can, but listen, you're productive, the most productive time is around midnight.
Oh, wow.
She has like a lot of like energy.
Midnight.
Yeah, I'm not sure that office work is yours unless they will agree that you will start working later. But
Yeah.
and
But you need to not talk to anyone.
we worked 3 months. We met 3 months every week, like every week,
Wow.
12 or 14 sessions. Every week,
Wow.
something. It's like it was like really big project. And she had also resume, LinkedIn profile, and 3 languages, and the energy graph, etc. But when I'm telling that she's there, but she's keep going on her X+10, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
it's like pleasure. That success stories when she was writing, she wrote like really detailed because it's actually helped her to document.
Mm.
And I'm also telling that it's also like for people who has like kids, like document for them. We are forgetting that. We are forgetting our
Mm.
stories. But these stories, these achievements, they help you. They really help you to recognize that the fact, recognize, for example, you traveled on 10 plus countries, you can write down that.
Mm. Okay.
Some people sitting in the cubic and don't want to go just on TV traveling. No, it's also achievement. And then when you recognize that, I just like, yes, I did it. And when we recognize this, we put a dot at the end of the sentence. What's happening? Because our mind has a lot of open processes. You're thinking about
Mm.
that, and like we might forget about that, but resources expense. It's like spending the resources. So what's happening, man? Why not just okay? I have done that. Like we are documenting the success stories. We're putting the dot at the end of sentence. What is on biochemical level of the body? What's happening? The mind, I don't need to spend more resources on that. Remembering about that. And the signal that dopamine is produced, hormone dopamine is produced. I did it. I can do more. That you feel good. You start feeling good, and it's just like, yeah. Like for example, you wrote your duties. Yes, I did it.
Exactly.
This is
It
the
felt so good.
and then you put something on LinkedIn, that yes, I updated that. It's you already own that and you feel good about it, and just like tap on the shoulder. I did it.
Mm.
So now tell me, we will focus on one story. Remember, like
Okay.
something was what you remember maybe most brightest when you did to help the company to repair something, to do the savings. I'm listening to you. You will just explain to me what the story, and I might ask questions.
Okay. Okay, so the one I wrote was specifically about more of an analytical job that I've done, which so there
You
was
wrote on
a
email?
company.
You wrote on email?
No, I didn't write it on. I mean, I wrote it on my Excel here.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I did like an Excel, and then I said put situation, target, action, and results. So
Uh,
what I wrote is very brief, and it's just like blocks. I don't know if you want me to show it. It may be useful to like display it to you.
yeah, listen. Open that. I will give you the like right. Yeah, you can share now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Entire screen. Just so you know, this is how I live my life. And this is the open tab that you were talking about in my brain. This is me. This is how I operate. It's very bad. But if I close something, I tend to forget. So this is why. So this is I did something similar for my interview, but I couldn't find it. I'll try to find it and take it out, and because we can at least
I
use the
will
previous job.
listen. I will copy that in your tracker. I will give you the sample, but it's already good. It's
Okay.
already
Oh,
good. So
nice.
station optimized supplier was created during the Gulf sanctions with Qatar. Which year?
This is 2020. Because it was before I joined. I think it started 2020, just
20?
before or 2019, just before
Uh-huh.
COVID.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then what they wanted to do is basically understand, uh, basically because they felt like it was too expensive versus other things. So we needed to do an cost analysis on it. So what I did is I got a 3-year trend.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm jumping. So I did a cost analysis on the supplier and how much they're charging us and what is the cost of that. So I did a 3-year trend mapping. I mapped it against the market and internal purchasing prices for our RMs and PMs. And then there was also liabilities because we also paid for some of the machinery that's in the factory that's there in Qatar. So once I've done all of this, I've mapped it, I've created a presentation, I showed the teams that, okay, yes, it might be expensive here, but it's less expensive here, but we're not too far from the reality of the market, nor are we far from the reality um, of other businesses internally and externally. The benchmarking is not too part. I think I could use benchmarking as a word because I forgot that it was a benchmarking activity. I could have just thrown that. When I had the clear picture and I shared it with the business because they were arguing they want to leave the business, they don't think it's profitable. So the only part that wasn't profitable is that we had liabilities, the machinery, but on the overall scale, we were not too far and not too expensive from the current businesses. So they wanted to know if they should exit or not. So once we had that view, they were able to, the teams, the R&D teams and the supply chain teams were able to find ways to optimize the costs so that we reduce where we can see. So they got like a full view of the business, and now they know where the cost they can target, and they think they can create any savings in it. So basically, they ended up saying that they're going to stay, though it's a little bit like parts of the market, but a bit higher. They decide to stay, but they're going to do savings to like be able to justify the business
Okay.
to the business that it's fine.
Amal, good story. Good story. Now I will ask few questions to have more
Yes,
clarity, right?
sure.
So how much time you spent on this 3-year trend creation?
It took me about 3 weeks, to be honest. It was so I had some of the data, which was great, but some were harder to get. I had to email other teams.
Mhm.
So the presentation itself took about like the analysis and the presentation took about 3 weeks, if I recall correctly. Might have
So,
been a little bit
mhm.
less, but
And
I can't recall.
this why like they were asking it was urgent task or it was not urgent task. It was
It,
urgent.
it was it was an urgent task, we needed to understand. And
Yeah.
it was
And
one of my first month in the company, and they said, okay, we need to do this. My boss was like, Ahmed, this is a project that I want you to take over because I don't have time for it, and here's the things, do it the way you want, and then we'll discuss it.
hmm. And then when you finalized it, like for better decision, but have they stopped working with that supplier, or what was the final decision of the management
No, they decided to stay.
to stay? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they decided to stay with the supplier, but they identified some of the costs that they think they can optimize, so they created savings from that, and a lot of projects came out of that analysis that we did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's actually, like in terms of like, let's say, from the point of like, let's say finance, let's also like, because it relates to the direct cost, right? So
Exactly.
like sometimes it's like lease or buy decisions, right? Or we will continue with that supplier, or we will search for replacement, like, or some other supplier replacement. So that's why that is like, okay, they decided, okay, then probably other people, like there's other people who were just like working on the options of other
Hmm.
suppliers, but your work, that project became part of the decision, like that we will stay with that supplier, and then we probably they continue that analysis later.
Yeah, we kept, so for the first 6 months we kept going back and forth and doing new benchmarkings to make sure that's, it still holds. So the finance took over from there, and they kept a track, and they asked us every few weeks, after every few months, they would ask us about what's the progress, what's the savings, and so on,
Mhm.
that we're able to extract from the supplier.
It's actually because I also worked with procurement people, but I know that when they analyze like that and they see like 3 years trend, that's just like, then they go, okay guys, for the 3 years we bought from you that volume, we can, they will try to claim more discount in the long term.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
like in economies of scale, like we are buying, we already bought from you that one, like, and if we are buying, we'll continue buying that volume that we would like to negotiate like other discount, but you might not be visible, you might not see that. Come,
Yeah, so
it's very good,
okay.
it's a good project, it's very good project. So that is actually,
Okay.
we are not disclosing, we are not disclosing the volume, but during the interview, someone might ask like this, like, okay, which supply we are not talking, but like, okay, what was approximate volume in dollars
Hmm.
I've analyzed? Because one will show like this, like you will not put this in the story on the
Story.
numbers,
Okay.
but what we can, like, you need to remember that was probably volume, I don't know, like
It was, yeah,
250.
I mean, 4 million euro
Yeah,
spent.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm just telling you that you put
Yeah.
somewhere for yourself that this is actually, because
Hmm.
that is actually showing with which volume you work.
Okay, I
Not
get that.
not 5 cents, but 4 million, right?
Yeah.
That is actually, for example, if you will be participating with the interviews and telling, okay, I'm working that, like, and for example, as a assistant, like with like intern, you worked with that volume, approximate volume, right?
Mm.
Then for the next position, your volume increased, and then for the least current position, the volume is bigger. Then when you can tell, like, okay, within this like 5 years or 6 8 years, my volume of work with which you're working grown up to that level, that's already
Hmm.
will be, it's already will be visible,
Okay. Yep.
because we will add that to the self presentation, so you're not afraid of big numbers.
Okay.
How
Okay.
do you feel about
So,
this project? How do you feel about this project?
I mean, when I put it in, I wasn't very confident about if this is really something that can be considered a success story, because it's a benchmarking analysis, but now that you're asking the questions, they're making me think, okay, it's because I have a tendency to downplay everything I do, and if it's something that I did and it You know, like you said, if it's a happy story, then we tend to play it, unless because people like drama. And this was drama free discussion. Yeah, there was a back and forth. Teams weren't happy because they're like no cost, and there was a lot of impacts of leaving the supplier if we did. But we could justify that the spend was not too much for it. But in the time we were doing it, for me, on my side, I was taking it as a full on activity of numbers. I don't get the emotional part of it. But some people, when you want drama, they want to like hear like stories of crazy things. And that's why I never know what story to pick that is successful. And what does it mean versus, like, if I'm, for example, if I'm interviewing for something, um I'm thinking, okay, 4 million out of my, let's say almost 40 million is really not a big number. It's one supplier, they're very basic, So I always rationalize my work into, no, if I'm doing it, then it's fine. There's no problem in it. It's really easy. You know what I mean? So I never know.
Amal,
Yeah.
you were doing this analysis alone,
Yes.
right? You were applying your analytical skills, which data I need in order to complete. Like you see that let's say, which data are complete, which data are not complete, and then you might be creating pivot, I don't know, like something like this, right? So that you needed like 36 months in a row to analyze. And then you do, okay, this data are missing. So that actually exactly in this skill, because you were also getting the numbers from the team. So what is
Mm,
actually I see in the situation? Like, okay, the first it's analytical skills, like
mm,
analyzing and completeness of data, then presentation skills to present the information to management, then communication skills also is point of presentation, like communication skills, like with the true and let's say assertiveness to get the missing data in order to have complete information. The sense of urgency because you had deadline, because the management needed to make decision.
mm,
That's good that you're making like this remark, right? So
mm,
it's actually when we are highlighting which skills you used on this story, that the actions you did, like I, how to say, applying these skills, I mapped 3 years trends. I
mm,
collected all data for the 3 years trend, like this, like to get to construct the analysis and comparison against the market and identified that liabilities within the supply. So it's actually now you see the story is a little bit deeper.
mm,
And it's also highlighting which skills you applied, what competencies you applied, and you get the result. You did
mm,
this analysis within 3 weeks, and then like it was contribution towards some bigger decision in the company.
mm.
You were not part of that, but you prepared the information for decision making. Now you see a little bit bigger, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Then
that's the thing. Like, I'm always struggling. Like, even when I'm doing my end of year review, I struggle every year. I'm like, is this important? Do I put it there? It's it's irritating, to be honest. But they should, this method actually. When I saw it, I was like, why didn't I use this for my end of year review?
this is
Because I put some stories, but it's not the way I did it.
well, it's even like, for example, accountants. They work
Mm,
accurately. There's financial reporting every year, everything on time. But I'm just doing my duties. I don't do something remarkable. I go, okay, just look from this side. If you would not be doing that job, what will be the consequences? For example, accountant, right? What will be
yeah,
the consequences that if records are not accurate, that
yeah,
the tax authorities will come, they'll find a lot of mistakes and will like have like big penalty. That is
mm,
consequences that of not having controls in place and not having financial reporting. Think from the side, if you would not be doing that, what will be there?
mm. Let's see.
So think about some other story.
Okay.
So, for example, the process, if you would not be doing that, that
Hmm.
definitely it will be some sort of in the process it will be some sort of break, it's not working properly, or I don't know, some maybe even like some sort of master data of all this stuff in the system.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I was working in Middle East, I was working this like with the electrical devices and systems. So I usually work with the projects, and there was with the products. And what like my impression was when we were migrating from Scala into Oracle, and I had
Mm-hmm.
18,000 different types of these sockets and these cables, etc. You know,
Oh, oh my God.
and you're like, oh,
No.
oh,
Oh my
oh.
God.
Because it's different colors, different features. Now that you will be smiling or laughing, but every time when I'm entering the hotel, I automatically look at the switches and sockets.
Oh my God.
It's just like that from
Yes.
that moment that Palm was just foundation. It was even not under construction, it was foundation. That was just initial stage of the Palm. I was there. It was
Oh my
big
God.
security, could not go like we were delivering some samples of this. So it's just six sockets and cables. I knew that from that time. But that I'm just telling you, then I say, oh, okay. Or no, another funny story. This is Honeywell thermostats, which are not
Oh, yeah.
right, like just Honeywell, you know. and
That's
it,
the only thing people know, by the way.
and if you watch the movie The Sixth Sense,
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you the funny story about my Moscow colleagues, and they were actually in this Honeywell Building Solutions division, which is actually exactly for this not air conditioning, like what's all this smart home. And it was 6 months, and this boy was hiding under the table at something that was freezing, and somewhere like it was Honeywell thermostat, and you switch something. And when they saw that, they start laughing about that because
In
it's
the movie, yeah,
like,
that was like a terror for me when I saw it the first time.
oh, it's like silent, and they are laughing. No one understood, but we understood why, and because it's about but I'm just telling you that
Yeah.
the uh, this is this is like probably when you're working now with teeth, you look for the teeth a little bit differently. You read the box from where it's sourced.
Yeah, whenever you like now every time people ask me about something that I'm doing, they're like, explain to me, and then I explain it in my terms, and they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
okay. You don't have to understand it. It's my job to understand it.
So now, can you please tell me more? Like maybe one more story, like when it was process repair or something like like it was month closing and you need to provide some data. That I'm just activating your memory.
Okay. What did we do this year?
Or you needed, for example, your boss was on travel and you were participating on his behalf on the meeting, or he gave you some urgent task to provide certain information, and you were never doing that before.
What happened? What did we do this year? It's very difficult to come up with stories, but I'm trying to remember.
Amal.
Yes,
So
we
now,
discussed.
no,
Yeah,
it's important that this file, can you please send to me? I will add to the tracker. I will
sure.
already work on ChatGPT, and I will also, let's say, out of this information, I will prepare some story. And you will read this,
Okay.
and you will correct whether you like it or not, right? And we will work slowly
Yes.
on other stories. It
Okay.
not necessarily from your current job. It might be from this previous job as well.
Yeah. From the previous job, I had a few that I wrote last time when I did the interview. So I'll try to find these and add them because these are ready, and I'll keep thinking about something because so I have my interview review that I had. So I had put like, oh, I was leading the savings for our region for our department because we were 4 people in the team before I became one. Everyone had a region to do. So I was doing name. I was doing Arabia, someone was doing Egypt, someone was doing Maghreb and the
Yes.
region, which is Morocco and Tunisia. So I was leading that, and I put that as one of mine. But I'm trying to think. So I led it. I did the bi-weekly calls. I followed up with them, make sure that they're put the savings on the system, and we actually got really good results by the end of the year because of the tracking and all that. But before the year ended, it kind of I put it there, but before the year ended, we already were in separate paths. I was no longer a lead, so I did that for about 8 months or so.
Amal,
So
even
yeah.
volunteering one, that will be good.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you,
That's
for
a nice one.
example, you organize something, you negotiated, that event happened, etc. That's also, this is also success story. And that
Okay.
will help for future that you, so come on, you have this Sudanese community, you always have something like organizing always something, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
That might be also one of the points that like volunteering stories, uh, like I don't know, participation in some sort of debate. It's not necessarily related, but for example, for volunteering, you can mention how many people participated on the
Mm,
event. That you timely
yeah.
informed everyone about something, like organize this. This is actually that.
Hmm. That makes sense. I can work on that.
Then
Perfect.
what else? What else?
Sense.
What else? Yeah. Because why we are doing the stories first and the skills, that actually I
Hmm.
will ask for the sharing. I will
Go for it. So I'm stopping sharing. Let's do that.
go to resume. What I will do, you will send this to me. I will actually draft and
Hmm.
will insert one like this story drafted already here and a longer version of that story. We will
Okay.
ChatGPT will also write there, like maybe it will also some sort of upgrade the language in certain, because I can ask like formal, creative format, like style. I can ask, I have some sort of AI program when I can
Yeah.
guide like actually in which style, in which tone to write. And I really like it. Like, just so we will start with this one, and then
Hmm.
you will have your something will be popping up in your memory. The stories will be coming up. And then, for example, even one more formula, which I'm not showing to you, but it's quite similar. And you might be also will think how to apply. It's called PARLA. It's
Okay.
problem action result. It's actually almost the same start, but learning
Okay.
and applied. So it's actually when the person on interview is asked, tell us a story when the project was not successful, what you have learned
Mm,
from it and how you apply that.
mm,
The people usually
okay.
listen to the first part, the problem, like the project failure or some failures, and they don't listen to the end of the question. And they fail
Hmm.
to complete
Answer the question correctly.
because they becoming like really emotional that I'm not passing this interview. They already
Mm,
know about some failures.
yeah. Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
the secret of that question, like using the formula parallel to answer, yes,
Mm,
I participated in the project, like which was supposed to be completed within 6 months. We were doing this, like we did everything possible, but result we still not completed. For example, this project within 6 months, but we completed within 8 months. When we analyzed why it's happening, it was not enough data provided. It was failure from third party suppliers. It was like bad planning or some
mm,
force majeure happened on the way, right? For
mhm,
example. And and we learn from that we need to double check the project schedule, or we
mm,
have the plan B for suppliers, or we need to have some insurance for force majeure or something like that. That's
mm.
telling you that
Okay.
some people like,
That,
okay, you know about failure, this and it's the why employer actually people they want to know what you learned, because they don't want someone to be hired to repeat the same mistake. But if the person already something learned, it's also analytical skills. We are learning from our experience and we try not to repeat the same mistakes, right? And how do we apply this knowledge for future? So this is the secret. And then we know, like, it's actually, we know if we have one or two stories like that, like something went wrong, right? For example, do you remember in December when you have this layoff of the company, right? And the people left, and it's like some additional duties landed on your shoulder. You were doing your job, and you were doing this additional, and it was also transfer. So you were doing multitasking. It was also stress tolerance or stress like resilience, or it was like actually you had to cope with a lot double volume and also emotional stress. So that's like, for example, it's not the story to show on LinkedIn because no, like that, like Unilever was doing layoffs, etc. But when you, for example, on an interview, they will tell you, have you been some sort of conflict or some situation when you were not feeling comfortable? It was true. Like, tell us about that. And you can, okay, listen, for some globally, you can tell, right? Like it was like very challenging situation. When in December it was laid off, and some of my colleagues were laid off, and then I got double volume to do, and I have limited period of time. It was very challenging, but I coped with that. I completed, and actually, I was actually promoted to another position. Now I'm doing the double. No, I'm doing like bigger volume than I did before, and I optimize certain processes. So this is about this. It's not necessary.
What you learned from it, yeah.
Probably you will have some stories like that.
Okay. I need to think a little bit better.
We might not say about layoff, but we saw it was like the challenging period of few months. It was like double volume due to some sickness of the people, etc. And you covered the field, you covered this, and then that is actually in this challenge, you created some sort of optimized process, or you upgraded some sort of spreadsheets which help you to analyze. This is also achievement.
I like that.
Do you have something like that? Just like maybe something popping up?
Let me think.
I am activating your memory. I'm just
yes. Okay, go for it. Please go for it.
Not necessarily like to tell me now, but I'm just telling you that that's the examples like that, like probably you can take one or two suppliers where you could negotiate some saving. That's all. I'm just giving you some sort of example, right? Like that you easily can pop up or something like that. I will document that one story, and we will be waiting for another two. We will write them together so that you are comfortable, like, and then we will gradually move to this. We'll gradually move to that. Okay, it's like, no. And I will show you. That's exactly I'm writing on Notion. You see, it's like resume, and it's like airplane.
Exactly.
Because it will fly to the destination point B. This is like connecting point A to point B. That's why this airplane is here.
Yeah.
So here on the career profile or self-presentation, this is the last section which you write on the resume. I'm giving the theory, and I'm explaining how you will write first draft, even like how to say voice message, right? That is the formula. It's a short formula, just 6 steps. Like my name, like what I'm doing, etc. And this is the example. This is like marketing, right? And self-presentation is usually 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. I am giving you a little bit like more advanced so that you start writing about it, because next time we will be polishing, or in between we're polishing, because today we are meeting the third time, right?
Yes.
The next time we will be finalizing our resume, your resume, and we will be start changing something on LinkedIn. And of course, this self-presentation is already preparation for interviews.
Okay.
And because I would like also in one session, we will spend some time for mock interview. I will be asking you a question and you will be responding, and I will give you like the presentation to read, what type of questions, etc. So that will be some sort of good preparation for you, because it's and then why, like, how to say, want to finish resume earlier, that you can start applying and checking how market is reacting. That's important.
Yeah.
And
there was
yes, that your confidence that you will be meeting your deadlines, because interviews will take time, then summertime, it's everything slowed down, it's 50 degrees outside, etc. So that's why I'm just telling you that it's better to start a little bit earlier, like, you know, just like we are going on track, but the more we practice, your confidence will be better.
Yeah, definitely. I do not do enough interviews. I've actually never done a lot of interviews in my life.
Yes.
It's one of my and I see my friends going for interviews just for the sake of like practice, and I'm like, I cannot do that. I'm not that type of person.
Amal,
So
a lot of people don't like interviews, and it's all not only technical skills to pass the interview, it's also the psychological capacity, because it's like stress, right? So that's why it's just like the double preparation. It takes some sort of muscles, and I'm telling you, even people who are well employed, I am advising like once a year to participate in an interview in order not to lose the skill, in order to like just go on that. What I'm just telling here, that is like the simple formula. That's actually help. And what I'm usually do, first of all, I'm just recording, not necessarily on the video. I'm taking the phone and I'm telling about myself. I am like, my name is like that, and I'm just like in the free form with the camera. Then you will just like listening and writing down what you have recorded, what you have recorded. You see that some sort of sequence. The most important, that's a short version. We are not telling that like we went to kindergarten or that or went to school. No, we don't tell about this in self-presentation. We just like where you're working now, what you want to, etc. That's exactly from this we will create the presentation for section about on LinkedIn, or this is the first. It's like in resume, it will be only 9 sentences. For example, you have number of X years of experience, you have this, you have that skills. So this is the some sort of culmination of all the work on resume. It's written last. And because when you have your success stories, when you have your self-presentation, you have, you know, your skills, you're highlighting your skills, and you're telling about yourself, and just only 30 seconds. And some people recording 10 times, some people recording until record me video, like put in the phone and record. And then already 10 attempts, like this 10 attempt is much better, because you start pointing, like paying attention where you're looking at the camera. Interviews are usually online, right? You're looking at the camera, you have, for example, your, if it's not offline, that you can put your list of written presentation behind the camera on somewhere on the stand and refer to that. That will give some confidence. But usually when we talk like more confident, I'm just giving you a little bit like in advance, and we polish your self-presentation. You first, you will try to using this formula to write about yourself. Then we will be adding some skills. Then we will be adding that, because this one is also the basis for motivation letter. And the self-presentation comes the first in resume, and the self-presentation comes first when you go for interview. Tell me about this. That is about this. That 30 seconds, you will tell, like, and just, do you want to know something else? You know, asking at the end, and the person is asking, and just dialogue is created, and then like they tell, asking you questions, and tell, do you have some questions? With, yes, I have like questions to you, and you ask questions, the quality of questions, and then like 30-45 minutes of interview, and you just see, and it is a skill in which just improve from one interview to another. And this is like, it's not scary, it's just a practice. That's why you're working with me, that I will prepare, like I'm helping you to prepare for that.
Yes.
Because the function of resume is to invite you for interview, so that you need to practice. And the and LinkedIn the same, but then you come in like, and you tell like on interview, you're presenting your skills. And even if you will be like volunteering organization, it still will be like, you still will be telling about it. So even some informal, you tell about yourself. This is actually will help you anywhere. Even if you're going on training, they tell them, please use yourself. So what I also can tell you, I have 2 good bonuses, right? This week I was running the job search strategy, job search funnel. This is like it's YouTube. And it's a little bit, and here's like the presentation. I was working with the students, like US, Germany, the United Kingdom, and I was just telling them like what the main problems people have when they searching for job, because we cannot find job after graduation. So that was the main problem. Or some people will be graduated in August, and they already start thinking about that. So that's why I'm just like place it here. And another, I was sharing about career strategy that we did at the start of the clarity test. And on strategy, I will give you the link separately, because it's only finance people were there. Because other people were also sharing what is important. Was one person from Kazakhstan, was person from Latvia, telling what is important and why they see this, and also and ask me about, will we be covering interview or not? I go, yes, we will be covering interview later. But why I'm just telling you to access to this additional stuff, that it's like 1 hour video when I'm explaining something. I don't want to overload you. The most important is success stories now, and do the first attempt of the self-presentation. That actually will help us already come very close to finalization of your resume. And your target was work on the resume in February. Let's target to complete your resume in February. And when you complete resume in February, it's actually straight away you're already updating your LinkedIn, but on LinkedIn with some additional features. How do you feel? How do you feel about this progress?
No, I'm like, okay, so I think you know me by now. I'm a very much of a procrastinator because I'm afraid of like touching anything. I always have to like build up a fear, and when I tackle the thing, I'm like, okay, this was not as hard as it is, which is normal. It's the way I work. It's always been the way I work. Been trying to change it. Very difficult. I think we're just so used to the high stress situation that we do this.
Moving, you start doing step by step. You see, we already did the better part of resume is already done. Let's say 60% for sure of resume is done, more than half is already done. And the trainings you already can pass, like you're updating your experience, you can do that. one success story. Like my target is that like this weekend I will polish the story that you will review, and then you start writing other stories, and it's like that. Actually, we will be moving in between the sessions. It will be some progress. That is actually like, it's better that we will do small steps but regularly. And in this case, the new links in our mind, in your mind, like neurons, like it's like new paths are created. It's more stable. It's more stable, and that the skill already becoming a part of your skill set. Because when you're doing that, it's not only about resume, it's a skill on resume writing, it's a skill to describe success stories and knowing the formula. It's a skill to just to prepare to do your self presentation. This is also the skill. You are getting few skills, and we are gradually developing that skill. That then when finished our work, you're able to talk about you. Then it will be the foundation is done. You're having that, and then you just will be improving that. That's all.
Yes.
How do you feel now? Good?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I'm less. I mean, maybe it's because of the work stress plus trying to like figure out that I really need to do this with my boss, get out of this place as soon as possible. I think it's just I was really stressed the last 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. It was
Listen,
ridiculous.
you bought books. I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
You did
I just started reading them. That's very difficult, by the way. Not every day. I'm still trying to like get myself to read at least 2 pages a day, but I'm reading.
this book is on my table. It's on my desk. You
I
check
love it.
it.
It's so. I've only done like 6 pages of chapter one, but it's really nice. It's the way it's written is very nice, and
The language
yeah,
is good.
yeah.
Uh,
And the step page with the what the interviewer does versus what the interviewee does, or the employee versus the employer, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, that is exactly how it is.
this is a very good book. I'm still
Yeah.
reading. It's not that it's like I'm jumping from one chapter to another. It doesn't mean that
Nice.
I read everything. I am just like, okay, this one, just this. It's
Today
exactly
I want to talk to this topic.
this like some of my ideas when I met this in this book. I go, wow, it's so cool. It's already wrote about that. Amal, you are doing
Yes.
great. Just keep going. Keep going. Like, listen, next week I'm in Geneva on SEMA meetings, but on
Okay.
Friday I will be back. Let me know when you want to meet next time.
Okay, let me look. Because next Saturday or Sunday, we're planning my brother's birthday. So and he doesn't confirm if it's Saturday or Sunday, so it might be difficult. I'm trying to think if we can do it in the evening
Which day?
of yes, 26, 20. How about 27th March in the evening? I will try to like gain as much energy as I
What
can.
time? Because I have some supervision on my course.
26th then? Tell me which days. 20. So I'm just gonna keep 28 free and 24 and 25. So 26, 27, 29 is fine with me, or we can start on Sunday the after.
That
Then we'll have 2 weeks
no, it's
to
actually
work on this.
uh, if it's like 28th after 6 p.m. I can do, but it's not
28th is the day I can't touch.
28th. You cannot.
20, 28th is the day I can't. 24th, 25th, and 28th I can. 26, 27,
20,
29, or we do third and
24th. Someone has birthday.
sorry.
Someone you told like someone has birthday on that day.
Oh yes, yeah. So we're planning 24, 25 because we haven't booked a date, so I don't want to commit. But
Monday,
you know what? Monday is fine with me.
okay.
PM, late in the evening.
Late in the evening, but late in the evening. What time you're late because we
For,
have 3 hours
for
difference.
me, um, we can do 7 or 8. It's fine with me. 7 or 8 p.m. my time, which is
Seven
it would
or
be for
8. That means
3
around
hours.
5 p.m. my time should be
Yeah.
okay. Usually on Mondays, I'm not working with clients, but listen,
Okay.
I want with you to progress on the listen, what my idea is that we polish in resume, like we just like
Yeah.
do like fine tuning and go into link to do some changes so that it's actually at least you start trying to apply.
Okay.
Want to see that it's actually it's working, you know, like it's just like you start applying because otherwise like just like why we are doing that. It will take time
Yeah.
like analyzing the positions, etc. Because for at least for one position, when for
Yeah.
example you will review that some positions you're getting positions in mailbox, right?
Yes, I am. I am.
Select one position because we are doing the master resume. We are master resume. Select one position which will analyze and will prepare a customized resume for that position
Okay.
so that you will have skill on that.
Okay.
Some good company. Listen, even you want to change completely the field, let's try to apply
To
in
customize that as
that you're marketable because this is for your confidence.
well. Okay. Okay. I have like one of the things that came up in the last 2 weeks. My friend is working for a consultancy company, and she's like, they're probably gonna open up a procurement part or expand on it because they don't have a lot of procurement consultant specialists. So
Yeah.
she's like, it's a good time to update your CV and send it to me. I will at least put it as a reference because networking, as you know. And she's like, I need you. I can sort you out with all the the interview and tell you what you need to do, and I know what they're looking for. I'm just scared about the work because I see her and she's dying, and it's not a work-life balance that I'm looking for, but it is a step closer to something I wanted to do,
You
which is
always
gets out of the operations part.
listen, you always can say no, but we are
Yeah.
just about the test because you were sitting for 8 years in one company, right?
Yes.
That you're marketable, and actually it will be good to know the company name. We can look at the website, look at the
It,
values.
yeah. PwC.
What is actually when we will finish the resume and
Mm.
LinkedIn, I will show
Hmm.
you the formula for the motivation letter, how to write and how to mention,
Okay.
because your
Yes.
chances will get like when I was explaining to the students the main
Mm.
mistakes when we just go into the job search funnel, like it's either your resume is not is filtered out, ATS system is not finding the right words, so they're just filtering out your resume. You don't have motivation letter, like to explain
Mm-hmm.
what you want to work. It's one of the mechanisms, right? So like you have this like this, or you are not following up, or you're not doing some sort of outreach, like etc. So there are different on different stages. There are different like different mistakes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that what we are doing, we are preventing these mistakes through the structure of resume, through the content of resume, and then uh, so that you will have that formula how to write the motivation letter so that your
Mm-hmm.
chances are higher, that your chances are really higher. And it's not difficult. And we can delegate motivation letter when we know the content of vacancy. When
Yeah.
we can delegate this to prepare for the charity.
Okay.
We can also like find some sort of, but I will give you formula. And also for this, you know, like some of the students will be on my Telegram, like we are creating some sort of workspace where I will put all known websites for job search, all
Mm.
known like the sample of motivation letter. We will keep the space like active, but you for individual work you're getting more from me, right? So
Mm.
this is actually what I tell the common mistake that people are not updating resume, and when they just need to apply, they forget about such
Mm.
courses. You have already the
Absolutely.
fact, and when just
Yes.
you have resume, you just do some sort of like small updates, just small because
Mm.
you already have ready, and you just yes, I have resume and it's working. Like it's like this is exactly, and through the network through the network, because you have network matrix, you have like those people can reference like, so this is the best to find a job. Hope I will get the answer. I will have the like the report when I can analyze you. And in this case, like we will have at least 2 sessions for free. When I will get the report, that is like where your values, where your interests, where your motivators, where your competencies, and what is where you fit better. That as well like, will be the separate stage.
Okay.
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 We worked 1.5 hours. Well done.
Thank you.
Preliminary is 26 Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they set the date on the 24th or the 25th, I'll use the other day to
Which
let
one?
you like. So it's gonna be, so we're, the plan is either 24th or 25, and they haven't confirmed. So if they confirm the 24th or the 25th, I'll let you know. And if it's still okay with you, it's not too short of a notice, we'll set it on one of those days.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Agree.
Okay. If it doesn't clear up and it was too late, like if they decide on Friday that it's Saturday or Sunday, I'll keep it on Monday. Like I'll
Okay.
just let you know anyways the day we decide
Yes.
and which day is
Because
free.
27th we have on this professional orientation for adults. We have supervision in the evening, and we will be preparing some questions I want to discuss with you too, because when I will get you like for example, I have already 5 people working with that, like so it's actually I have some questions about people, and then if I see something like questions are also on your report that I can also address, and the people can help me to get the answers. Well, it's quite interesting. It's very interesting. Then it's a lot of people having questions how we can divert or create the hybrid career. How do you estimate your, let's say, condition now on the scale of 1 to 10? How do you feel yourself today?
Today is absolutely a 10 because it's the first time, like, because we're talking about STAR, we're talking about the success stories, and my problem with like downplaying everything we do. I'm feeling a little bit more confident that, for example, the story that I just gave you, you're saying that yes, we can go by this, and it feels like okay, that I am doing the work that it requires. I just need to have the confidence in translating that work into success stories, and I'm feeling a little bit more, much better about this, honestly. The resume is coming up. Very impressed with the GPI with the Chat GP.
GPT.
Yeah,
It's
GPT. I was like, what is it called again?
AI.
Chat GPT.
AI, because I have the entire board already of 15 AI tools
Wow.
on LinkedIn.
Wow.
That is like, I'm not giving this to you because you need to know, you need to have
I
a
need to learn myself. Yeah.
skills, and
Base.
you will go
Mm.
there.
Yeah. No.
I will give
I have not used AI till this person. I'm one of those idiots that doesn't believe in AI just yet, because I feel like, okay, as humans, if we lose the touch with our own skills and we keep using Chat GPT for everything, we're just gonna lose the the edge we have as humans.
it's a great help.
So
It's a great help.
it is a great helper, but people abuse it sometimes, because I hear stories about people doing their work through GPT, and I'm like, that's not honest work.
Listen, the most important when you're doing the request, don't put the company name and your name there. That's like
I don't have it yet, but
this is
once
like
you tell me how to use it.
this is the rules. But what's most for me important that you feel comfortable about success stories now. That now you understand that how you can describe if you're doing something regularly, like month over month, but you don't see results, you don't know how to describe. Now you know that actually there are no complaints,
Yeah.
no complaints that you're doing something wrong, right? You get promotions, and in
Hmm.
that your accurate regular work, and even this increased volume, is always there is some story, but the people don't know how to dig that story. So that's why I'm interviewing and asking question, what if you would not be doing that, what will be there? This is exactly one of
That's the
the
key.
if you want, so probably this process will be like really complete mess, or
Yeah.
we would not be getting like, let's say 8.5% discount from that supplier. Or who would be analyzing the 15,000 suppliers on this tea, right? Like, you know, like that. It's also the story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for now, we need to crack you that you have it. Like we will do that once, you already know, and then we gradually go in to your meaningful work. Meaningful work on this one. And
Yes.
I'm curious to see the report and also try to do the tests on disk.
Yeah, I tried to find it, but I don't know what it's
Listen,
called.
I will, let's say, maybe I can repeat, I can send a reminder for the website because I'm administrator of cabinet. I can
Nice.
just send in reminder because I initiated that in December. But listen, let me send a reminder and like from which email you will get it. And keep up. Have a nice weekend. And maybe
Thank you.
you will
Too.
get a story. Have a paper next to your bedside table, just in pencil and write down.
Yes, I'm gonna take the whole notebook there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether you listen to these British people who told about success stories.
I'm almost done with it. There's like 7 to 8 minutes that I didn't finish, but so far it's like clear. The
Actually,
accent is a little bit too much for me sometimes. I forgot how British people sound.
I could not record this, but I could record only audio. But it was actually
Nice.
helpful because they explaining what is needed,
Yeah.
and
No,
they
it's
also
clear.
explaining about let's say different skills. For example, stakeholder management or critical thinking. You have Excel file, and you have like, for example, stakeholder management, and you're collecting there all the stories where you applied the skills. That's awesome. I don't use it now, but actually it's one also the idea how to collect the stories. I apply that when we analyze the position, and when we analyze I can do that, and then you can write down the stories there, how you applied that skill. That actually help you to write down like, oh, I applied in that situation. That is actually out of this sentence, we can expand the story. Right? So this is the also one of the helpers that if you get some interesting position, you plug in the skill set gap and okay, where I if you definitely not applied, they're like just like no. But it's like yes, I remember. So this is like really, this is also very good tool for preparation for interviews. So no more 1 hour 40 minutes. I don't want you to overload. Enjoy your weekend, and you
Thank you very much, and you too.
for 26 so that you will let me know. We are moving.
Okay.
Good.
Yes,
Well done.
we got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have a nice weekend too.
Bye.
So from me also recording of that session so that like I will send you a recording.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Take care. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye bye. Take care.